Startups are dead. All right, so obviously that's kind of clickbait. Startups aren't, dead. They're not totally dead. We have some great, growing startups like WeWork doing fantastically, changing the world. So many other hyped up. I'm just kidding. So here's the thing is I'm pretty involved in the startup community through startup events. And I just think that term for a couple years now has become so oversaturated, so overhyped. It's like these people aren't running startups, right? They're running debt, right? They're not doing anything. They're not putting out product. They're just going to events, or they're just they have a pretend startup. They're not actually doing anything. They're just hanging out with their friends in their mom's basement. I don't know what they're doing, but at the high level, I think we're just burnt out from the hype, burnt out from Bitcoin, or burnt out from really a lot of that crypto mess, but we're burnt out from the WeWorks and the Juicero and the Fitbit and all these things where it's pretend money. I posted this on Instagram. It's my friend said, everyone loves a unicorn. And I said, I prefer real money versus fantasy money, because that's how I kind of feel about these businesses, is that we look to those successes with survivor bias. And we're like, hey, these companies are amazing. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to aspire to be. I'm like, it's just a shell. It's just a big shell game. There's nothing actually going on there. And it's very rare that we see something like where Facebook had zero revenue and they released mobile and everybody was just saying how garbage the company was. And then they tricked us with the ad product, and they put out the best ad product of all time. The company became super successful. Within a week, right? The stock went from nothing, zero to hero. It's just so rare, right? It's just so rare. Most of the time, it's like WeWork, where I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How do they make money? It doesn't make sense on paper. And then you find out, they have super long-term leases. The guy's buying stuff and selling it back to the business, or they're buying the leases and they're putting the discounts of the lease as an asset on the books to make it look like they have revenue, and crazy accounting tricks, which makes them raise Series D, E, F. And I'm like, who needs this much money? If you had a business, at what point is it self-funding? It actually builds revenue and money. So maybe it's just because I want to build a real business, a business that actually has a product and actually has revenue, or maybe it's because of my background in manufacturing, but I just feel like something should be real. I like tangible things. Even if it's a software, I like to be able to see this is why somebody would use it. It makes sense to me. I like things that make sense. But in that regard, that kind of version of the startup, that silly Silicon Valley kind of parody, insane, getting funded for an idea that makes no sense, that's dead. That's dead. I think we're going to enter into a new world of reality where not only does the idea need to make sense, but you need to be able to prove that you have an ability to execute it. If you want funding, you're going to have to be executing it and use money as fuel, not gasoline to just pour everywhere and blow your company and your life up. So, yep, that's my take. Startups are dead.